master has left us. He's gone. What if he never comes back?
Meh, doesn't matter either way.
What do you mean it doesn't matter? He's the one who feeds us. He's the one who takes us on walks. He's the whole reason we're even alive. Of course he matters.
For you, maybe. But I can get along just fine without him. It's a cat thing. We've been doing it for thousands of years.
You're over 1,000 years old.
Stop. Just stop. I'll show you.
Between 10 and 12,000 years ago, when the geographic region known as the Fertile Crescent, or in modern-day West Asia, humans first developed agriculture, allowing them to abandon their nomadic lifestyles and instead permanently settle and farm the land. As the number of farms increased, so too did the number of pests that appeared to feed on the stores of grain. Enter the cat. The abundance of food led to these wildcats remaining close to well-populated areas, and some scientists argue that this mutually beneficial relationship with humans led to cats domesticating themselves, as opposed to humans domesticating cats as companions. This relationship between cats and humans stretches throughout history. A burial site in Cyprus provides the first archaeological evidence of humans and cats living side by side, as far back as 9500 BC. In ancient Egypt, cats were worshipped, mummified, and sometimes even dressed in golden jewelry to indicate the status of their owners, and their likeness was included in the pantheon of Egyptian gods.
But what about dogs?
But what about dogs, you ask?
Huh, that's convenient.
Based on findings of dog skeletons throughout the Old World, from China to Africa, we know that by 10,000 years ago, dogs were playing a critical role in the lives of humans all over the world. Dogs are considered to be one of, if not the, earliest domesticated animals, along with sheep and cows. The companionship of dogs is well documented throughout history as well. Similar to cats, dogs also received special treatment in ancient Egypt, with some mummified remains being found in ancient tombs. Remains of dogs were also found in Peru, where they were buried with care alongside people and had offerings of food left for them to eat in the afterlife.
That might explain how we ended up with humans, but how is it we treat them so differently? We live in the same house. We've been here the same amount of time. Our master treats us both well.
The humans have tried to figure it out too. They called it the Strange Situation Experiment. Originally designed to observe attachment relationships between children and caregivers, the experiment was adjusted to investigate the types of bonds that both cats and dogs make with their owners.
Oh, right. I remember that. That was that time they left me alone in a room and compared my reactions of when the master came into the room versus when a stranger came into the room. I was really nervous and anxious when the stranger was alone with me, but when master came back, I ran right to him. Apparently, that's called secure attachment, when we think of our master as a safe place and are willing to explore and investigate when we know they're present, but are more anxious when they're gone. That's similar to how healthy children reacted in the original experiment.
See, that's where we differ. I may have meowed a bit because I was a bit nervous about the stranger, but when the human came back, I didn't really do anything. I mean, why would I? It's not like he's my security blanket. Nah, it doesn't really make a difference whether or not he's there. If anything, I can protect myself.
You know what I think? I think you can't tell which one our master is, and that's why you're never excited to see him.
I can recognize them just fine. I can tell who's who just from their voice. In fact, those humans did one of those silly experiments to test whether or not cats recognize them. They played strangers' voices, and then our human voices, followed by other random humans' voices. I suppose it may have reacted to our human's voice on instinct. Looks like they observed us very closely and noticed that we do respond, like turning our heads, tails, or eyes in their direction, or making a slight displacement of our paws.
I guess it's a little more obvious with dogs. We react when a human calls our name, and we can be trained to recognize and follow their instructions. Now that I think about it, they have done an experiment that suggests that we respond to them differently because we view them differently. The humans had dogs sit in a functional magnetic resonance imaging machine, an fMRI, and track the flow of blood to different parts of our brains. The researchers found that we get super excited when we see humans, and as a result, the reward processing part of our brain activates, as evidenced by the increased blood flow shown on the fMRI. They also tested our reactions by showing us a dog instead of a human, and a completely different part of our brain activates. This would suggest that dogs understand that humans aren't dogs.
Of course he's not a dog. They're just a big cat. A big, hairless cat. Heck, human is probably the name of their weird cat species.
What are you talking about? Master's not a cat. He's like our parent. He's different and a special kind of being, but he's not a dog, and he's definitely... That's Master! Our human is back! I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you.
While cats rarely show their love, there are signs that your cat loves you. Some examples are ways that smaller cats show affection to larger cats, such as by resting while touching you, like when they lie in your lap, by licking you, which is very similar to the grooming ritual between cats, and when cats approach you and greet you with their tail up to rub against you. These are all signs that your cat trusts and loves you.
But I guess our human's okay.